What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and thanks for tuning in. I want to kind of do a part two to the Cam Newton K. Michelle interview that I touched on a different topic in another video. While watching the interview, I didn't watch all of it. I saw what I wanted to see, and let me say this too: this is in no wise trying to bash K. Michelle. I think we all come from our own perspective. I think life gives us our perspective. So this is not a K. Michelle or women. This is none of that. I just want to bring a little balance to something she said. That's all I'm trying to do. So if this is the first time you come to my channel, you don't understand how I operate. I'm about accountability. Anybody that's been on my channel can tell you that from day one. I'm about accountability. I'm not perfect, but I believe in accountability. I don't believe that you should just always bash the woman, and I definitely don't believe you should always bash the man. I think that in some cases there is one that is going to be more responsible than the other based on what it is, but not in every case. So we have to be accountable. In the interview, when she's talking to, well, I call it an interview, in a little session, when she's talking to Cam Newton in her passion, she is going to make several comments about black men, in particular using Cam Newton as an example, but also talking about the state of black men, how we have children with these black women, but we're not building families with these black women. And she's saying that we have to stop the cycle and that the responsibility goes to the man because it is unfair. That's the point she was making. It is unfair to the black woman, the predicaments that we put the black woman in. And for children to have to come home and not have a father there and then see the mom sad at night is a problem. I agree with all of that. I've done videos when I first came to YouTube 6 months ago. I spoke on these things. That's why I'm very passionate about these type subjects. I was raised in a two-parent household. My parents still together today. Been married almost 50 years. But I'm very passionate about kids, children, and how they're raised and what they have to sometimes be a part of or succumb themselves to. When she says it's unfair to black women, although I agree, I want to ask a very obvious question that may seem obvious, but the fact that when I look through the comments, nobody actually, because all the women, of course, is gonna want to cheer that on, which is good. It's good information. The black family, the unit, we need to do better. We with that. Here is my thought process. And again, no shade to any single mothers, no shade to any single black mothers. Here is the thought process though. Let's be honest. We are not talking about couples that were married. Let's be very clear who and the type of people that she is talking about that these things come to be. We are not talking about a couple or couples who were married, their relationship fell apart, and so maybe the kids stay with the mom, the dad has the kids on visitation, however that works. That's not what we're talking about. The majority of the kids that are raised with the mother are born out of wedlock. They came to be, let's be honest now, because a man and a woman both said, we want to have sex with one another. That man looked over there and saw that she had a fat behind on her and he wanted to grab it. He wanted to touch it. He wanted to squeeze it. She looked at him and saw his broad shoulders, his deep voice, his muscles, his fancy car, his silky way of talking, his smooth way of moving, his charisma, whatever it was. She was lonely. She ain't been hit in a while. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She was tired of the road. She wanted a warm body, and the two got together. Listen, when they got together, nobody said we're going to create a family if a child comes from this. This is why women also have to be held accountable. Because in order for a man to spray your garden and wet it up, you have to allow him to put that wood, that sausage, that peen, that PEN. The only way he puts that peen in you raw is you have to allow it to be. And you knew when you allowed it to be, even if you try to use a pull-out game, there was still a chance. Women knew what could happen, but because nobody was trying to build a family anyway, this is why women also have to be held responsible. And I'm talking to grown folks now. He blew that wash load, that Maytag load, that Samsung load. He blew that load all up in the lady. She got pregnant. They wasn't talking about we need to get married for the sake of the kids. The first thing that he's going to say is either I'm going to help take care of the kids or I don't want to have nothing to do with the child. And then she got to go put him on child support or decide if she's just going to raise a kid by herself without his help, because the entire time her concern was not if he was fit enough to be a father, a leader, or a husband. It never had anything to do with the family structure and family principles. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. When we was smashing women, when y'all was getting throttled and having a good time, you was not concerned if this man is a great fit or if we're going to get married and have a family together. Stop the cap, as the young people say. Stop the cap. He wasn't a good husband when you was bent over the side of the mattress. You wasn't a good wife when you was bent over the side of a mattress. But now a child is here. Y'all not talking about no family. So then how then can the full responsibility be on the man? We know that it takes more than finances. We know that it really takes a man and a woman to work together to help develop that child into what they're supposed to be. But since we know this, then we need to be saying before we bring a earthling into this world, we need to be set up under a family structure, which typically is known as a marriage. But guess what? Here's the news. You ain't gonna stop having sex. And for the most part, you're not gonna stay on birth control, and you're not gonna make him, you're not gonna make him put a Jimmy hat on, going back to the 90s talk. No, he gonna tell you, I can't feel nothing if I put it on. You're gonna say to him, now I understand, I can't really feel you. But and in that moment of passion and weakness and lust and fire, anything he say, you believe it as a woman. Yeah, it's okay. If something happen, I'll help take care of the kid. He ain't say I'm gonna be your husband. He don't want to marry you. You don't want to marry him. He ain't saying if you get pregnant, you're gonna be my wife and we're gonna raise this child together as a home, because I don't want my son or daughter to be born away from neither one of us. He ain't tell you that. No, he told you I can't feel it if you make me wear a condom. Yeah. He told you it don't feel the same, and I love you. And I love you so much, I want to be able to feel all of you. And you bought into it. A couple weeks later, period, ain't showing up. You let him know. And if he's a good dude, he say, I got you. Don't worry about it. Let me know when your appointment is to be there. I'll take you. I'll pick you up. I'll drop you off. We'll put the baby on my insurance. What you need me to do, let me know. I'll be there. I want to support my child. You ain't got to put me on child support. I'm going to pay what I need. He ain't never say he want to marry you, though. Come on now. Let's tell the truth. So then how is the full responsibility of why these situations that K. Michelle is talking about, when the children are coming home and the woman is sad at night, how is it on the man alone? Why is that on the man alone? He did not sign up for marriage. You did not sign up for marriage. You signed up to get throttled, and he signed up to throttle you. And most of the dudes that you have kids by, you glad you didn't marry him anyway. Or you very rarely hear a woman say, I wish I would have married my baby daddy. You very rarely hear a man say, I wish I would have married my baby mama. I'm sure it happened, but that ain't the way people talk, because you was in it for pleasure. They didn't have to have all the qualifications that you would be looking for if they were a husband or if they was a wife. So the real question then, as I let y'all go, to the ladies to just put in so y'all can share some of this accountability, is why would you have a child with a man that you're not married to? If you're going with what K. Michelle is talking about and your concern is to keep the family unit together and to raise the child under one roof with both man and a woman, it sounds like you should be married first. But we ain't gonna do that. Right? K. Michelle said, how many times will the cycle go around and around and around? And when you say it that way, it sounds deep. And I'm not pointing judgment. If you seen my videos, in high school, I thought I got a girl pregnant and was ready to go to work until she told me she was lying. She was just testing my love for her. I'm not pointing the fingers at nobody. I could have been in the same situation. But the fact remains for me, every man and every woman, why would we have the kind of sex and we know how babies come? See, we wasn't having sex to procreate. We was having sex to get the oohs and the ahs. Tell me it's mine. Whose is? Poppy is yours. Better be. Or else. Say my name, say my name, say my name. Smack it one time. Use a little more power. That's what we wanted. And when that final thrust came, and a baby show up, nobody talking about no marriage. K. Michelle, this is why. Because we're breaking the laws. Technically, not physical laws as far as what the man would say, but the fact that we are now having children outside of marriage. And this is the repercussions of that. It don't matter if the man had the child with him. The kids will still need the mom. It don't matter if the children are with the woman. The children still need the dad in the house with them as much as they can. And she's absolutely right. Sending financial support does not cover for presence. And since we are well enough and wise enough to know this, why will we continue to have the kind of sex? Because we're not going to stop having sex, but why are we having it without being on birth control or forcing somebody to wear protection? Okay? That's why we both have to take accountability, because you knew you wasn't on birth control. He knew he didn't have a condom on, and both of y'all know what comes out the ground when you spray seed all over it. Got it? Bye.